Express Premium banner. Marilyn Monroe's chilling final words to friend on phone call before tragic death. Marilyn Monroe's final phone call was to her friend Peter Lawford, who claimed she sounded despondent. Marilyn Monroe's last words worried her friend before she died, making her last call to her best friend, Peter Lawford. Peter, an actor who was married to Bobby Kennedy's sister Pat, said he chatted with her on August 4 and asked her over for dinner. He said that when she didn't show up, he rang her back and heard her talk all slurred and she sounded really down about her life and work. Peter shared that she told him she was tired and would not be coming to dinner. Then, as her voice got quieter, she said something he'd never forget: "Say goodbye to Pat. Say goodbye to Jack, President Kennedy. And say goodbye to yourself, because you're a nice guy." A police report mentions Peter felt in his gut that something was wrong and he still blames himself for not going to her home himself. Marilyn was super famous in Hollywood, and her sad end shocked people everywhere for years. While Marilyn's life and death have been widely reported, the circumstances of her passing remain a mystery. The star, whose real name was Norma Jean Mortensen, had been struggling privately, having spent time in a psychiatric clinic in 1961. She died on August 4, 1962, while under the constant care of a doctor and psychiatrist. Marilyn was taking several prescription medications for insomnia and mental health issues at the time. Tragically, she overdosed on these drugs, ending her life prematurely. One of her last conversations was reportedly with her hairdresser, Sidney Gilleroff, around 9:30 p.m. on the day she died. Marilyn allegedly told Sidney that Bobby Kennedy had visited her home earlier that day and threatened her. However, attorney John Bates disputed this claim, telling reporters that the Attorney General had been in Northern California with his family all weekend. Over the years, questions have been raised about the possible involvement of the Kennedy family in her death due to rumors of affairs with both President John F. Kennedy and his brother, Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. This article was crafted with the help of AI tools, which speed up the Daily Express editorial research. A Daily Express editor reviewed this content before it was published. Items owned by Marilyn Monroe and Hugh Hefner to go to auction. Among the collection is a smoking jacket, silk pajamas, slippers and tobacco pipe, worn by the founder of Playboy magazine. Items owned and worn by Hollywood movie star Marilyn Monroe and Playboy magazine founder Hugh Hefner are to be auctioned as part of a collection that spans both of their lives and careers. The collection, which will go to auction in March, comprises items owned by Monroe and artifacts from the Playboy archives and Hugh M. Hefner Foundation, including Andy Warhol's original Playboy bunny silkscreen. Outfits worn by Monroe to be auctioned include a black and cellophane effect evening gown, which she wore during filming for the 1955 movie The 7-Year Itch. It comes with a black and white feather boa, which is not the film's original, and the outfit is expected to fetch between $100,000 to $200,000, $79,000 to £160,000. Another costume in the collection was worn by Monroe for a pictorial feature in the December 22, 1958 issue of Life magazine, photographed by Richard Avedon. The star wore a lavender satin, bone leotard to channel actress and singer Lillian Russell, and the outfit, also featuring a neckline trimmed with bouquets of fabric flowers and pink, lavender and cream draped chiffon sashes, could fetch between $20,000 to $40,000, $16,000 to £32,000. Another highlight is an original program and ticket stub that Monroe had been given when she attended the birthday gala of former President John F. Kennedy in 1962, which is expected to fetch between $4,000 to $6,000, $3,200 to £4,700. The event was widely talked about as the Hollywood star serenaded the president with a sultry rendition of Happy Birthday while wearing a sheer, skin-tight Jean Louis gown that she had been sewn into just before the event. Other items include photos of Monroe kicking a football and on the sets for filmed River of No Return and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. There is also her custom shade of Elizabeth Arden lipstick, in a gold tone case. Highlights from Hefner's part of the collection include a Leroy Neiman 1959 original oil on canvas painting titled Romanovs, which is expected to sell at auction for between $60,000 to $80,000, $47,000 to £63,000. Elsewhere, an Alberta Vargas original watercolor drawing of a pin-up girl from the March 1967 issue of Playboy magazine is expected to fetch between $30,000 to $40,000, $24,000 to £32,000. Alongside pieces of art or clothes worn by Hefner, a smoking jacket, silk pajamas, slippers and tobacco pipe. Hefner and Monroe were both born in 1926, and the two Hollywood celebrities lie in crypts inside Pierce Brothers Westwood Village Memorial Park and Mortuary in Los Angeles. The first edition of Playboy, released in 1953, featured a centerfold photo of Monroe, originally shot in 1949, an image which came to symbolize the early days of the magazine. The Hollywood film star died aged 36 in 1962, while Hefner died in 2017 aged 91. The auction for property from the Playboy Archives and Hugh M. Hefner Foundation and property from the life and career of Marilyn Monroe, which includes more than 1,000 artifacts, will take place between March 28 to 30 at Julien's Auctions in Los Angeles, California. The auction house has also announced that highlights from the collection will be shown at two exclusive exhibitions in Hong Kong and Shanghai. The first museum-like exhibition will be held at the French Club in Hong Kong from January 27 to February 1. The collection will then travel to the Huangpu district in Shanghai for an exhibition between March 6 to 17 before it heads back to Los Angeles for the auction.